Greetings, this is Michael L. Dublin Sr. Just taking a visit here to Buffalo Road Park, one of the um, county parks here in Raleigh. And I actually, Buffalo Road, I didn't even know it existed. At least I didn't know all of this existed. I'd driven by Buffalo Road and driven on Buffalo Road, and I've seen it, and it's a Buffalo Road has now become a kind of back road trip for me going home into Nightdale because it's on the back side, on the other side of Nightdale High School. Today I really have a lot on my mind, as I always do. Just a little brief, just a little something for somebody who may want to give thought to this. The storm Ian has done tremendous damage to Central Florida. As always, some of the places that were targeted originally that may have been damaged did not have as much damage, and then there were other areas that had far more damage. Some of my family and friends moved off of the Gulf Coast from Tampa over to Orlando, but Orlando had a tremendous amount of rain over there. There was damage that was done there, and even now they're beginning to see the damage that was done to Central Florida, and in some areas it's quite extensive. I always wondered, why is it that when a person gets these weeks and days of intense storm warnings, and when the governor declares a state of emergency, why do people continue with their own behaviors as though they never heard any of this? Why do they just kind of hunker down, or why do they just kind of ignore it? Or what is the psychology behind receiving a warning and still proceeding? And some have proceeded to death. Some have died because they did not take the warning seriously, and that happens for every major storm. I've never been able to understand that. As much of life I don't really understand, and so I'm just posting this video talking, not looking for answers, but in case you're one of those people that you just wonder about it yourself, you know that there's somebody else in the world that wonders about that too. What goes through your mind when you receive a warning, when you know in advance that there is trouble possibly coming your way? What's the process? What's the psychology? What is the spiritual stuff you have to deal with it? And what is the religious stuff? Where does your faith lead you? And what actually happens? All of these are things that kind of cross my mind, because I'm just wondering about that. I did a little bit of reading just before I made this video, and it shared that this study had talked to 80 participants who went through Katrina. And the core and the summary of what they were saying was they had lived in those communities all their lives. They had never lived in another community. And people on the radio and TV and people from another class, from another part of the city, another part of the state, was telling them to leave the only thing they ever knew, all they had ever known. And everything that they were warning them about might have been true, but they had never lived through what they were warned about. But they had lived in their communities where their uncles and aunts and moms and dad, and where they knew the people in the barber shop, and they knew where to go get the Cajun food and the Creole food and the local mom and pop restaurants. And they knew about all of that. They knew where the stop signs were. They knew where some towns, or not towns, some places you go, and some places they know where the sundown part of the city. So asking them to go someplace that they had never been and to deal with life that they had never dealt with was just a bit much. So they decided then that they would take it upon themselves to make it through. And some people, of course, did. And one of the respondents said, well, I was younger and I felt like I couldn't abandon my community. And in fact, I could help others who were who were older than me and may have some disabilities or some people who just had nowhere to go. So I could stay behind. But none of them could perceive of, none of them could conceive of what was about to happen with Katrina, just like some people did not accept what could happen in Central Florida. The core, though, for me is that throughout our lives, we're being challenged, we're being warned. And sometimes I think we just give up. We don't say we give up, but we just give up. We've been warned about eating the wrong foods. We've been warned about different religions. We've been warned about different people, different towns, different everything. And these warnings are always taking us and putting us cautiously in a position where we don't know what to do anymore. So when people come to church, you have to be cautious. When you go to another church or another religious organization, or when you joke with people on your job, you just have to be cautious because you don't know how it's going to be taken. And just so many things that it's just hard. It's just tough. Where's the simplicity of life? Where is getting up, eating breakfast or brunch, going to lunch with people or by yourself, and being okay? You're not staying away from anybody. You're not thinking any of those things, but you're okay being alone because you're not lonely. And other times you want to be with people, and you enjoy that as well. We're in a country now that has so many different nationalities, so many different foods, so many different restaurants. So it's really great. It's really good to be able to get beyond yourself. And sometimes it's just great to be to yourself. But that what you are familiar with, sometimes that's all we know. So I just want to challenge you and encourage you to say that you're human. And sometimes our worlds get shaken. And so the storms don't seem to bother us. But at those times, we can make some pretty self-defeating decisions. Don't give up and don't give in. Make your preparations. Knuckle down and button down. Get your water. Get your chargers. Get everything that you need. And if nothing happens, just praise God and be thankful for family and friends that nothing did happen. You live long enough, so something will visit you that you don't want. And so enjoy preparing for life today and preparing to smile and to laugh. Go ahead and dance. Go ahead and eat what you're going to eat. Today I was in a grocery store and I saw a buttermilk pie. I don't think I've ever had a buttermilk pie, but I ate that when I bought the pie. Ate a slice of it and it was good. I enjoyed it. So if nobody else in the house eats it, that's okay with me. I'll just cut it up. I'll put some of it in a freezer, and little by little I'll eat this buttermilk pie. My throat is sore. I taught the lesson last night and it was sore then, so without some cough drops and some eucalyptus, my throat will get a little sore. Beloved, there are so many things that will come our way. People are living, people are dying, people are being arrested, people are being kicked out, people are buying new homes, babies are born, people are being diagnosed with illnesses that will lead to their death. People are dying unexpectedly. So much of life is ongoing, and everybody is somebody's somebody. And whatever happens today, you're somebody's somebody. Be good to people who are good to you. And when people are not good to you, learn how to stay away from them until they can become good to you. Never, ever, ever give your self-worth, your self-respect, your self-esteem away to anybody. And once you've done that, take it back and go on with your life, and don't become embittered by those storms that come and the things that will sometimes sidetrack you. Listen, I'm hoping that you will live whatever the storm does outside of you through the weather, also that storm that's on the inside, Listen, there's a lot more sunshine than there are stormy days. Love your friends. Love the family. Forgive folk. Forgive the person in your mirror. Go ahead and live. Storm or no storm, rain, shine, sleet, or snow. Live while you can, beloved. Michael L. Dublin Sr., another stranger on a journey trying to find his way.